Competitive lies. Non monopolists tell the opposite lie. We are in a league of our own. Entrepreneurs are always biased to understate the scale of competition, but that is the biggest mistake a startup can make. The fatal temptation is to describe your market extremely narrowly so that you dominate it by definition. Suppose you want to start a restaurant that serves British food in Palo Alto. No one else is doing it. You might reason. We'll own the entire market, but that's only true if the relevant market is the market for British food specifically. What if the actual market is the Palo Alto restaurant market in general? And what if all the restaurants in nearby towns are part of the relevant markets as well? These are hard questions, but the bigger problem is that you have an incentive not to ask them at all. When you hear the most new restaurants fail within 1 or 2 years, your instinct will be to come up with a story about how your is different. You will spend time trying to convince people that you are exceptional instead of seriously considering whether that's true. It would be better to pause and consider whether there are people in Palo Alto who would rather eat British food above all else. It's very possible they don't exist. In 2001, my co-workers at PayPal and I would often get lunch on Castro Street in Mountain View. We had our peak of restaurants starting with obvious categories like Indian, sushi and burgers. There are more options once we settled on a type. North Indian or South Indian, cheaper or fancier, and so on. In contrast to the competitive local restaurant market, PayPal was at that time the only email based payment company in the world. We employed fewer people than the restaurants on Castro Street did, but our business was much more valuable than all of those restaurants combined. Starting a new South Indian restaurant is a really hard way to make money. If you lose sight of competitive reality and focus on trivial differentiating factors, maybe you think that your nan is superior because of your great grandmother's recipe. Your business is unlikely to survive.